Hello, in this video, we're going to go over how to validate a TOML document. So when talking about documentation validation, what I mean there is ensuring that the document that we're calling a .toml is actually following TOML standards and syntax. This is really important because if we don't have this step and we build a lot of scripting and automation, assuming that our TOML documents are properly made, then if someone writes an incomplete TOML file, we're not following TOML syntax, that can break the whole chain of events that we'll be scripting out in the future. There are multiple different ways that you can validate a TOML document. There's one-off executables, various GitHub projects, there's Python modules. There's some that are a combination of all three of those. For our use case, we're going to use Taplo. And I picked Taplo intentionally, not only because it does a great job validating TOML documents, but it'll enable us to showcase some GitHub functionality in a future video. Okay, to start, what we're going to do is click this command line button, because that is how we are going to run the application. And then it's going to take us to their installation page here. And we're going to click binary releases. This is where you can download the build for whatever operating system you're on currently. For my situation, I am on x86-64. All right, and once that downloads, I'm going to put that in my GitHub folder that we used in our previous video. We're just going to right click, extract. Get rid of this. Okay, now we have our taplo.exe. And while we're still in the documentation, you can click through here. There's some mention of how to create a Taplo configuration file, how to do validation. Essentially, the command is just Taplo space check space the file name, which makes it really easy to use. And to do that, we're going to go into Visual Studio Code. And we're going to open up a terminal. What we're going to have to do is navigate to our Taplo folder. And you can see the Taplo executable in here. If you try to run the executable, you'll see it prints out the help function there. And you can see the commands here. You can run a certain Taplo configuration file. You can format TOML documents. You can lint documents and check them. That is what we're going to use for our TOML validation. All right, so what we're going to do to showcase Taplo is to grab one of the detection rules that we downloaded from our last video, and then put it in the folder that has the taplo.exe. So we can navigate right to rules. Let's go to Windows, and let's grab this one. Some PowerShell activity on Exchange email collection. So I'm going to right click, copy this, and paste it in our folder. And now we have this file. We can see it's in Taplo, so we're in the right one. So what we're going to do is just run it out of the box. You do check. And then we can do the file name. We can see all we get is an info line. That essentially just means that it found the file, it ran checks, and that everything returned okay. What we can do to mess with this a little bit is maybe delete a section. So if you notice, the linter that we have with our TOML parser shows that there's a problem here, and we could run the same check. And using this really cool visualization for where the problem is, it tells us, hey, you have a key author, but no value for the author. This is really helpful because if you remember back to the Elastic GitHub project, where we downloaded their application and ran it, and the error given was a little bit ambiguous. This is more of what I like to see out of scripts, out of my own custom code, to have it very explicitly told to you what the problem is. And now what we can do, put that back in, save it, run it, and we're good to go. If we do the inverse of that, we could do the same thing, run it, and it's finding all kinds of problems here given how we just broke the TOML. And how to read these errors in case you don't have anything explicitly told to you in this manner. If you read this left to right, you can see it's the file name, colon, the line that it's on. So line 10 is the issue. And then it's colon, the character in that line that is causing the issue. So if we look at the first one, 2, well, that's the second character. That's the equal sign. 4 is this bracket. And next one, 5, is the start of this whole string here. And then the final bracket, also expecting a new line. So if you look at it from left to right, it's actually just flagging on every single character as it goes across line 10. Okay. And then we can fix this once again, double check, make sure it works, and we're good to go. So this has been a brief crash course on Taplo. It's a great open source project that really does everything we need it to do. All right, in the next video, we're going to start getting into some scripting. Thanks for sticking with me so far, and I'll see you in the next one.